It's exactly 1 year since Nigerians elected Muhammadu Buhari as their president, effectively ending 16 years of uninterrupted rule by candidates from the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. Mr. Buhari and his party campaigned on a platform that really can be summed up in just one word: change. Deji Badmus starts us off tonight with a look at what the Buhari presidency has done 12 months on.
Lunchtime in Lagos, and Olatubosun Olayori's eatery is almost empty. It's not always been like this. Business has really dropped, and it has nothing to do with standards or other issues at his eatery.
Business in Nigeria has been so challenging, so to speak. You know, prices of things we use in doing our business has gone so high, and we cannot, responding to that, increase our prices so much, because our customers will run away from us. So we still make do with little or no profit at the end of the day.
To compound things for Olatubosun, electricity supply, critical for his business, and one of President Buhari's promises, is now as epileptic as ever.
If at all you have power for like 2 hours in a day. And you can imagine running this kind of business. You want your customers to come in to meet a very, cool environment, because to power my machines also, I need power also to do all of that. And in a situation where I don't have power throughout the day, maybe it's at night they will not bring the light. So I have to, invest in diesel, invest in generator to make sure my business keep running.
A prolonged petrol scarcity has made the bus situation worse. There's also the local currency that is under severe pressure, despite government controls aimed at maintaining forex reserves and propping up the naira. Pressure is mounting on President Buhari and his cabinet to fix the economy. They say a payment of $1.8 billion to local contractors to return to project sites is on the cards. The plan could just be a shot in the arm for the struggling economy.
We're already discussing with some of the contractors who will be paid these monies and the objective and the overall determining criteria is how many Nigerians will be re-engaged. So we're specifically looking at contractors who have laid off staff. How many Nigerians are you going to put back to work as a result of this money that we're planning to release? And we believe that that will bring significant economic activity back.
Now, other than the $1.8 billion, the government has also dedicated 30% of its $30 billion budget this year to capital expenditure. It's also budgeted $2.5 billion in social welfare for the poor. But the budget is yet to become operational, as the president is yet to sign it into law. Businesses like that of Olatubosun are pinning their hopes on the budget.
We are so expectant and waiting patiently. This is our country. We just have to continue to see how it gets better and better with time. We have nowhere to run to.
But while the economy remains a headache for the president, he's already recorded successes in the country's fight against the Boko Haram insurgency and corruption. Under his watch, Boko Haram has been beaten back. The military has retaken virtually every territory the sect once controlled. There's even talk of an end in sight to the insurgency. On anti-corruption, several former and serving government officials are facing trial. Stolen monies have been recovered. But how the president translates these successes to the economic sector remains the biggest challenge. He's assured Nigerians they would sing a new song once the budget comes on stream. Deji Badmus, CCTV, Lagos.
Right then, Deji Badmus is live in Lagos right now. We're going to talk about an interesting meeting between American officials and Nigerian officials in the US a little later on. But let's start with Mr. Buhari's record off the back of your package, Deji. A year on, especially on economic issues, how do Nigerians assess Mr. Buhari's record?
Honestly, with Nigerians, in terms of the economy, this president has not done well at all. But to be fair, the question you want to ask yourself is, has the president gotten enough time to have delivered his economic plan? The answer is no. The budget of this country wasn't passed by Parliament now until recently. That budget itself got to Parliament very late. The president did not prepare that. And part of the problem, I think, was that it wasn't until September of last year that the president was able to form his cabinet, and the transition process was not good at all. So far, in terms of the economy, Nigerians are not happy. As a matter of fact, they are mounting pressure on the president that they want to see more actions in terms of the economy. For instance, people are not happy that we still have the current petrol scarcity. People are not happy that, power is still a very big issue in this country. And people are just not happy that, if you like, they'll just tell you there's no money in circulation. But then the president has said people should just be patient, that very soon as the budget is passed, as soon as he signs the budget into law, all of that will change and people will begin to see things. Already the government has said it is going to pump in $1.8 billion in the coming days. As soon as that happens, things might just begin to change. And then don't also forget that this president has also, the budget we have at the moment is an expansionary budget. The president is proposing to spend $30 billion, if you like. And so the hope is that by the time the budget comes into full stream, things will begin to pick up in the economy and that Nigerians will begin to smile. But for now, Nigerians are definitely not scoring the president high at all in terms of the economy.
Right. Let's switch back to the talks that were happening between Nigerian officials and American officials in Washington, D.C. Do we have any updates whatsoever on the outcome of those talks?
Well, Rama, we do not have any update yet. People are still waiting to hear what the president would say, if the president would actually, accept to devalue the naira as been requested by the United States government. But if you ask my personal opinion, Rama, and judging by this president that I know, I hardly think this president would accede to that request. I hardly think the president would want to devalue the naira. He's made it clear. As a matter of fact, he's used terms like he doesn't want to kill the naira. So I doubt if the president would want to do that. And I think the United States did not handle this very well. I don't think it was proper for, the Secretary, Mrs. Linda Thomas Greenfield, now to have come out to say that that the United States authority will be taking on the issue of the devaluation of the currency now with President Buhari. Buhari, I doubt, would want to be seen as a president who would be viewed as towing the line of the United States of America. So we just have to wait and see what happens. But I doubt if President Buhari or the Nigerian authorities would accept to devalue the naira at this point, just because the United States has asked it to do so.
Indeed. These talks, of course, will also be focusing on security and defense issues. From the Nigerian perspective, are they looking to increase military cooperation and military aid, if you will, or even arms deals between Nigeria and the United States?
Absolutely. I mean, under President Jonathan, of course, relations between the United States and Nigeria was not at their best, but things have picked up since President Buhari came on board. He's been to Washington now. I think this would be the second time. And, the U.S. has actually pledged its support now to help Nigeria fight Boko Haram. And, we hear, even though there's no confirmation, that in no time at all the Leahy law will be set aside and that the United States government will begin to sell weapons to Nigeria. But all the same, Nigeria has been able to push back the Boko Haram insurgents. Things are a bit different now. Things are calmer in the northeast than they used to be in the past. And don't also forget that we have the multinational joint task force. That force has now become operational. So things are a bit better now. And so if we're going to have some kind of assistance from the international community, it might not be as substantial as we had actually wanted it initially. So things might be different. But there's no question at all that Nigeria will definitely be seeking, and President Buhari will be pushing that during the talks, seeking the cooperation of the United States to end the Boko Haram insurgency, especially when it comes to the issue of sharing intelligence, Rama.
Indeed, we'll leave it there for the time being. Thank you for the update. That's Deji, of course, monitoring developments for us in Lagos.